Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you Michael Jackson's #1 performance tip. This is something that completely changes the way that you look on stage. It will take you from looking like someone who might be semi-comfortable on stage or be used to performing on stage to someone who looks like a superstar on stage. And that is, let it simmer. I'll explain further what this means and how it will apply to you, and it's applied to me. But I took this from the This Is It video, which was Michael Jackson's last live performance video. And he was telling this to other people that were around him. Obviously, the people around him in this huge concert were already professionals, but yet he was having to tell them, listen, let it simmer. Now, what this means is, when you hit a pose on stage, you have to hold it. Hold your poses way longer than you think you need to, and it will completely change how confident you look on stage. I used to do this all the time the wrong way, and I would finish a show and they'd go, ladies and gentlemen, David DiMuzio, and I go, thank you, and I would just start running off the stage. And that's another thing, don't run off the stage. Always walk slowly and confidently off every stage. Don't run. That's something I did wrong for a long time. But I noticed a friend of mine who's a very pro entertainer, she would do this, and they would say, ladies and gentlemen, da da da, and then she would walk forward as they would say her name, and then she would slowly take a bow, and then she would walk to the other side of the stage and slowly take a bow, and then she would point to the band, and all of this was done slowly and confidently, and it completely changed how professional she looked on stage. I had this with a guitarist that I was working with recently, who's a killer guitar player. I mean, just unbelievable. But I noticed at the end of his solo in my show, he would hit the note and it would go like this. And he'd go, da 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 da, boom, and then he'd start walking away. And I was like, listen, Andy, when you hit that last note, hold it like a rock star. That's your moment. And you're basically just turning your back on the audience, but that's your moment to say, I'm done with my solo and I just killed it. So that's what you've got to do. When you finish a solo, when you finish the end of a big note, when you finish the end of a song, finish that solo, bam, and just look at the audience like, yep, I just totally killed it. Or when I finish a big number in my show, or any number in my show, and I da da da, and bam, and then just hold that, and hold it longer than you think that you need to, because your tendency is going to be da 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 da, bam, okay, yep, I've done it. Or another thing I'll notice that people do is they say thank you too often, or they say thank you too fast. One of my friends, Shane, who is an artist that I mentor, she would always do this. She'd finish her big song and she'd kill it, and then she'd thank you very much, thank you, thank you. And it was like the audience hadn't even started clapping for her yet, but it's sort of a nervous thank you of, okay, well, I just finished, now I've got to fill the air, so I'll say thank you. Don't say thank you. The audience will thank you with their applause. And then if they thank you enough that you think that they deserve you to say thank you back, then say thank you. But finishing a number and then immediately saying thank you before the audience even starts clapping for you is just looking like an amateur, and it's looking like you're not confident. That's Michael Jackson's #1 tip, is let it simmer. Every time you hit a pose, or you finish a song, or you finish your solo, stop. Look at the audience, or hit your pose and just bask in, I just killed it. That is your moment, and it will make you look like you are a superstar on stage when you do that. And the audience will feel like, man, we are watching a superstar. Because if they weren't a superstar, they wouldn't hit that pose and hold it like that.